Alright, welcome back for some more easy blues harmonica, and today we're going to play solo harmonica, and I want this to be something that everybody can play, so from absolute beginners on up. So if you're just starting out, it's going to sound something like this, and depending on where you are, it can end up something like this. Alright, so what are we doing? And like I said, I wanted this to be something that absolute beginners can play. So starting off, this is a vamp. This is the sort of thing that I like to play a lot. You'll hear a lot of this on this channel. You'll hear a lot of this if you come out and see me play concerts. So what am I doing? I'm basically using holes 1, 2 and 3 draw and 1, 2 and 3 blow to get started. And the pattern that I play is so it's ta 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 ta. So you say it like that actually. Ta 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 ta. Breathe in as our hands coming in. So ta 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 ta. So when you start out, if you just do it like, I'm using a lot of like starts and stops with that sort of ta-ta sound. If you just breathe, it's like. So I'm shortening those breaths to make the sounds very staccato, very short. So. And then I'm adjusting that to taste because I want sort of ta 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 ta. Cool. Now what's the next step after that? Start playing single notes. And the way that I like to play single notes is pucker. So what I do is from those 3 holes, I start to bring my lips together, play on my bottom lip more than my top lip, and just contract my lips. The heart does come out of my mouth a tiny bit, but try and keep. That's how big the hole is in my mouth. So you don't have to go tiny, you know, kissy kissy fishy fishy. But yeah, just come down to one single note. And what I'm going to do there is, so it's 2 hole draw, 2 hole double bend, 1 hole draw, back to 2 hole double bend. So if I just do it on 1 hole, like just hole 2 and hole 1, a lot slower. Again, nice and slow. Now this way, breathing. And so then I'm just changing between my full embouchure, means shape of your lips in French. So I'm changing between the full sound of holes 1, 2 and 3. You can get hole 4 in as well. And that doubles up 2 of the notes, so slightly different sound, but not actually a different chord. So I'm going just between, my focus is on hole 1, 2 and 3. Change to just single notes. And back and forth. So get a tempo that's comfortable for you to sort of play it at. So you might want to sort of slow it down a bit, like. Now, when I practice, and I've mentioned this a few times, I often have a beat going. So if you're having trouble keeping your tempo, it's good to have like a metronome or something else going. Tapping your foot can be like sort of harder to do to keep everything together, but I'll tap one out here just to sort of give you a bit of example. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the thing you want to watch out for, especially when you're playing solo by yourself, and I try and make some mistakes here, So normally you'd make mistakes in the bends and those sort of things. A lot of people will like sort of repeat themselves. So hear how you sort of lose the rhythm? I'm going to play this really sloppy, but I'm going to keep that rhythm really steady because the rhythm's the most important thing. Like, obviously, it'd be nice not to make any mistakes at all, but if you're making mistakes on the melody, it just sounds like jazz. So, yeah, keep the rhythm nice and steady, and if you're having any little sort of like errors and things, just sort of keep going with that rhythm, something like this. Back to normal. Beat in there because it helped me sort of keep a little bit together. So yeah, that's the main issue that people will have with playing solo, especially if they don't have any sort of rhythm or anything. If you lose that rhythmic feel, then your audience isn't sure what you're doing. If you keep the rhythm nice and solid, you can basically get away with any sort of embellishments. So a little bit faster this time. Now, one of the tricks that I sort of use is slow again. Sometimes I blow out, not through the harmonica. Just gives me a little bit of a different percussive feeling. My teacher Jason Ricky taught me that, and I really like how it sounds. That's why I tend to do those. So what do we want to do? We want to get nice established ta 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 ta. Feeling good with that one? Well, let's go to our single notes. Cool. Now, one of the other things I like to do, that one's nice because you're just like lazy. You don't have to move around the harmonica. You heard me at the start though. What I was doing is I was actually trying to hit the -7, which is hole 5 draw, hole 4 draw, which is the 5, and then hole 6 blow. So I do the little 2-hole draw down and up first, and then I'm going for like hole 7, note number 7, flat 7, 5, and 6, which is hole 5, hole 4, hole 6 blow, like this. So if I don't do it sloppy, if I just do like single notes or single holes, but I put a lot of effects and little things into it, little inflections. So let in a few extra notes on the left-hand side of the harp. I often sort of just have my mouth a bit off the harp too, so they're quiet, let those sort of notes get a bit of breath out easily that way. Also one of the reasons why I'm going helps me get the breath out quickly. So again. Now, diatonic instrument, any of the notes, any of the holes on it will actually sort of work. So it can be really sort of sloppy. Here I'm like sliding up and down. So overshooting the holes a little bit. So yeah, play it cleanly first. But also use that sloppiness to add like your textures and your flavors to it. So it's a nice relaxed sort of amp. So I'm just going to run through that one a few times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. back down. I've got some blow notes in there, and I'm choosing which ones, like a little couple on the way down, just to give me a little bit of inflection. So it's very slowly with the sloppy parts in. So yeah, slide back and forth between there. Important to play it clean first, because that's your goal, but when you get to it, it doesn't actually sound as cool as sloppy, so go back and forth between them. Now, what was the last little thing that I sort of added onto there that you had right at the very start? The cool thing with this is because we're on holes 1, 2 and 3, easy tongue block. So what I like to do for the variation is, technically I'm playing this all as like a 1 chord, and then I go to the 4 chord. So second position on our harmonica, our 1 chord is the draw notes 1, 2, 3 and 4, using 1, 2 and 3. Our 4 chord is our blow notes, any of them. So what I want to do to make it sort of easy, because again I'm lazy, I could just do this puckering, but I like to do this tongue block, so I like that slap sound. So what am I doing to do that? I want the corner of my mouth on hole 4, so you can set it up earlier. And then you just lay your tongue on the harmonica until only one hole's sounding. So you see, start down the left end of the harp, blowing out. Was that the right note? That's the note. So other thing I quickly just did there was, that's an octave split, so you only put close 2 holes in the middle of the harmonica, leaving the 1 blow and 4 blow. Pretty. Okay, so actually, how do I get into that? Let me play it for a second. Okay, yeah. If I'm up there on hole 6, it's tricky to get back to the 4 blow. Can do it, like. But what I tend to do instead, it also sort of foreshadows that something's going to change. Instead of going up onto the high end, I repeat that little 2-hole draw, 1-hole draw pattern. So do it twice, and then I'll go to the tongue block. So I'm just using that as a bit of a break. So 4-hole blow, tongue blocked, going down to 3-hole half-step bend. Also as a tongue block, you can do it. Now I usually pucker, so I might change between them. Sort of depends a little bit on how much pressure I'm under. If I really want it to work, I'm predominantly a pucker player, so I'll pucker it. But for something like this, you know, relaxing, so bringing the harmonica through my mouth, because like I'm on hole 4, so I move it down, so I'm just on hole 3, bend that, and then I'm down to holes 2 and 1. Draw, like a little triangle, so 4 draw, 4 blow, 3 draw, half step bend. Okay, so I'll put it together one last time, sort of show you how I'd sort of do everything. So I get my tempo established at the start, I get my little pattern going, and then basically once I've sort of got that really established, feeling a bit sort of bored, I'll put in that chord change to the 4 blow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And to finish, yeah, usually hold that whole 6 pentatonic or blues scale going down, something like that. So yeah, get out there, have some fun vamping. So get out there, have some fun.